All right, here we go again. Buckle up. Rough roads ahead.
You're listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry.
All right, I got something rolling around back. Oh, I see what it is. It's my miter saw. The slide isn't locked. Like, what is that sound? I was working on my Torah onlay. I'm making a scaled down wooden representation of a Torah. And I am going to have to drive up to this gas station and secure that miter saw slide. And let's hopefully that's all I'll have to stop for. Boy, it's that wonderful time of the day when the sun is right at the horizon. Isn't that wonderful? It proves I'm cursed. Of all the time in the last few days I could have driven somewhere, it's now. So I'm gonna. They don't sell anything that I could use, and I'm going to make that. But it's actually going to be a mezuzah. I might start making my own mezuzahs. They look like Torahs, and then I'll carve out the back for the scroll. Well, I'll be back, as they say. I'll be back.
You're listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry.
So they erased my intro. That was one of the intros they erased. And one of the strange things is that, there's a lot of metaphysics with that. The spies, of course, and spies could be your librarian, could be your police police chief, could be your Walmart worker, could be a gas station attendant, could be the banker, could be your mother. Because you may not know that your mother made money doing what they said when it came time to do somebody dirty. But all those people could also be victims and never have worked for the deep state, although many are both at times. Again, I refuse to be part of that, just as Moses refused to be part of it. So again, they take over the religion so they can steal that narrative as if that's who they are. I was appalled when I woke up. Absolutely appalled. I'm sure they were freaking out, embarrassed, and everything else. All right, I got a double KKG. A lot of KJ. Remember, I was speaking about the KJ plates and all that. What they want, and again, it could be Satan also, but what they want is for me to be freaked out about saying anything online. Like I spoke about those microphones the other day. Now they don't work. That particular uh, mic doesn't work. Could it be Satan? Yeah. Could it be them? Yeah. No problem. You hacked it. If you hacked it, again, that's what I believe happened. Again, it's part of a spycraft operation. And they go, yeah, of course, we don't want you speaking out online. Well, that's too bad for all of you. You kill somebody for 30 years, and it takes time for spycraft work to work. It isn't immediately going to destroy your life. And most people don't even realize the prep work that goes into destroying their life. And one of the things you should realize is it is racism of all types. If you know black people that are racist, they're most likely part of the deep state, part of the beast, part of that hate. If you're a black person, if you're a white person, you know white people, same thing. Vice versa, versa, vice. Again, the beast. So what is the big deal? Why all of a sudden do we call it the beast? And of course, Mr. Beast is probably, I will tell you, Mr. Beast was propped up by spies. But I'm not telling you that he's evil. He's probably a project of theirs. Now, somewhere in his life, they want to change him, and he's still useful the way he is because God bless him, nice guy, I guess. I don't watch him all that much. I get a little buzz and I go over, "Hey, Mr. Beast, they're trying to kill you again." But they want people into that fluff, and it's great. This is what God and I do. Even in heaven, we take care of people, and they can live whatever life they want. In heaven, of course, it's the right life, and it just doesn't mean that it's the church life. Again, I'll get into the influence that causes people to fall and things like that later. However, uh, we are servants of the Most High God, and we serve creation. When I woke up, God was like, really hitting home, creator, creation, because what we have to do is we have to be multicultural, we have to be multi-religious. That's one of the hardest things. I've been wanting to get online to say this. There's a lot of guilt out there when you want to switch from one religion to another. I mean, I have to because I'm working for God, and I have to help each religion get past whatever is causing the issues. This is nice. Oh, these are apartments. They look nice, even though they're older. Right? But most of them are like carpets still around there. It's kind of nasty. I don't even know why they haven't changed. Again, when we have somebody like that shooter, uh, that's a situation that a lot of us go through. I went through it. I went through a bunch of stuff at work for a long period of time. And, it's not that scenario. It's not uh, people that own AR-15s, although people with AR-15s are committing these crimes. Uh, what we need to do is again, no politics. I'm trying to get right up the middle to fix it as quick as we can because God has asked me to do it. Or I've asked God, can I do it? And he said, yeah, do it. And that's kind of how it works. Generally, we work together and it just happens, but that's the mechanism that's in there. As far as people with rifles committing these crimes, not to say they didn't have rifles, not to say they couldn't get rifles anywhere else, but we are mostly seeing the same thing repeat itself. A legally bought weapon, a legally bought firearm. I say weapon because that's a military term. Firearm is kind of a law enforcement term. I must be connected into the military network here. Wait, I went the wrong way. But I guess never the wrong way, right? You got to heal this fight. I'm over by the police and all that. So what we need to do is we need to heal Overland Park. I guess that's what these are, city offices and the police headquarters here, I think it is. Because I had that thought, and that's pretty much where I am. Oh, I'm in, I guess, huh? City Hall over here. Healed. Name of Jesus. Car accidents, Hadley and Santa Fe. There is not one right now, but there will be. You need to heal this road here. Is this Hadley I'm on? What am I on? I'm on Santa Fe. Okay, yeah. Hadley, and now they even said, you're a good man. Good man. Oh, no, they're going to try to poison me with hemlock. See, God sets that up. It's pretty funny, huh? There is a God. I know he exists. No matter how many times you try to tell me that he doesn't exist. Or she, he, it, whatever you want to call it. They. God, God's opinion is, call him anything you want, just don't call him late to dinner. That's really the way God is. It's just we have a lot of trappings here, and we pulled God into it. So that's what's actually going on. God is very fair. I didn't know anything I know that I know now as far as what the churches aren't speaking about until I woke up. Although I was always kind of the same person, if I didn't curse people off. God did, though, he said. He did it in my absence of mind. I mean, I was intelligent, but I didn't have my mind. But God said he had it. I was talking to you all day long, and this is it. We've had it. God speaks to your inner self all the time. So it's one of the things that happens. You go, well, why did God pick that person? Or why? Again, this is not the Father's kingdom. So Jesus helped people understand that. And again, even if it was, I guess no, if it was his Father's kingdom, it'd be perfect. But to say this, God can't do something that causes regression because what we're living here isn't real. This isn't real. This is just kind of this physical place we are for the moment. But just like I said, there's a lot of trappings that God has pulled into, and to get everybody where God wants them to go, God has to go through a series of things. Don't want to go this way, or don't want to go that way. And I lost my bearing. I'm thinking I want to make a right. I'm thinking I'm going to miss the store I'm going to. But here, I want to tell you how this kind of works a little bit. So I'm building a Torah ark, and I'm not spending as much money as I used to, and I'm starting to get out of debt, and because I moved and all that stuff. So they're willing me to spend money, and I can see it. And I'm trying to like not let them make. I mean, I don't have a problem spending money on the Torah ark, but I want to make sure it's the right purchase. I don't want to, buy the wrong thing. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking around. All of a sudden, they want me to spend money, and I know that, and I had to spend it. It was the greatest deal. So they willed it. So it's God manipulating things a little bit, but we're moving. People that will things are moving the existence, but God tries to get them to will against one another to make something that God wants to happen. So what happens is this pediment. It's not really a full size pediment. Neither is my Torah ark. Although it is 32 inches. This thing's was it 23 inches wide, I think, and it's a really nice artsy pediment, and it's black and gold. It was a great deal. I purchased it. Now, to you, that doesn't mean much, but if you go through what I've been studying, you look at the Italian, especially the Italian, heal in the name of Jesus. Remember, heal your children. Young ladies especially, they're very susceptible to assaults and rapes and murders. I'm supposed to be hearing. Am I live? Can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. I guess you can hear me. My screen went blank. I don't know if I was on or off. I'm on a tablet. I should have stayed on a Windows device. Probably would have been better. So I don't know if you heard me, but we need to look at the weapons as far as, or the firearm from today, as far as is it a newly purchased firearm? Because what we're looking at, and again, this is overcomable. If we take away a certain rifle, they'll buy something else. Uh, I don't like saying things sometimes because then the wrong people can hear it. But essentially, there's ways around that. So you don't have to buy an AR. I mean, if somebody were to strap 4 handguns on, it could, go crazy, in the same way. I mean, the calibers, again, the AR-15 round is a particularly lethal round, that kind of thing. So it is what it is. But at this stage of the game, there's so many ways around that. Black market. Even if you made them illegal, if somebody really wanted one, they could probably get one. That kind of thing. So I think, and again, it's an investigative thing. It's just not working because there's not enough time. I don't even know. Apparently some places don't even have a real time frame for the investigation. I'm just not a week cooling off, 2 week. I don't. It should be at least 30 days at this point. Uh, and it has to be funded and it has to have all that it needs to have. Just like if you're going to put officers in a school, they have to have the right system. You can't just have officers walking around. They have to own the ground. So they have to have a surveillance system. Otherwise, it's just, it's haphazard. Yeah, it could work, but yeah, it could fail. So again, I think people are a little cautious because they're saying, well, it didn't work. Well, we're going to put all these cops in there and they're going to harass our kids. I mean, that's the way a lot of people think, and they have a right to think like that because people are harassed and have been harassed. So again, the two major things that I see right now, as far as meeting in the middle, would be law enforcement officers in the schools increases. This guy having a moment. Well, is he standing in a turning lane or is he panhandling? I, oh, maybe it's just a normal panhandler. It's just a funky thing so people see him. I guess. I think he's okay. Yeah, they see him. If he does something weird, they'll probably call 911. So where was I? So we have to meet in the middle ground because that's usually where it works. I don't know. People just lost their mind. So what I see, and I think it's pretty correct, is if we go to a 30-day background process, there's so many points. Now the Giffords people made the point that a cooling off period. I don't think it's long enough. Quite frankly, Musk is sitting back going, "That's why we lock everybody out, so they don't shoot us." we don't tell them. We don't tell them. We just lock them out. So again, a 30-day cooling off period. If he did purchase the weapon, he probably would already be walked out. But I'm sure he could walk into a branch and do the same thing. Maybe not the same way he did it. Uh, it's again the investigative tool side of it. We want people to go and try to buy a weapon. Law enforcement has discovered plenty of things when that occurs, and the investigative process was sufficient. So if they don't, if we do too much, they're just going to get in the vehicle and go run people over anyway. So we have to be careful. Again, in Europe, they go, we don't have gun crimes, but how many people have been run over by a truck with some deranged person behind the uh, the wheel? Now, years ago, I was drugged and I almost blacked out, and I came to, and then when I was driving, an officer pulled me over, and at that point, I didn't remember anything. But years later, I remember what happened. So again, God bless and heal the deranged people that are behind the wheel and can't control the vehicle. All I remember is the angels. The biggest part of it, I couldn't see anything. I was just like, I was gone. And then the angels were like, don't worry. Nobody will be hurt. We know what you're worried about. Nobody will be hurt. That's what the angels said. And nobody was hurt. But I was drugged. So if we get the 30-day time period, we'll find Audrey and get her help. And again, I'm not big into prosecuting people with psychological issues. It happens a lot. Actually, I saw the seventh seal before I woke up and I was afraid of it. Like, oh no! God's going to kill us! In the seventh seal, there's this Down syndrome kid. And they're like going to put him to death or something. So again, we're in a really strange time period. Okay. They're telling me you could live here. I can't afford it. There's a new place they're building. I probably won't be able to afford this. I really only need like $300 a month. I could probably cut back on some stuff, but I have to be careful because if the deep state thinks I'm cutting back because I don't have money, then they'll continue to mess me up, and then because they'll say, oh, he dropped this service over there, he took that video offline or that audio offline or something. So again, they're just, I know you can't ignore them, believe me, they're psychotic and deranged. I could have got where I was going if I wasn't online, but that's okay. Well, that doesn't sound good. What is that? Something's bouncing back there. So we get the 30-day investigative process. ATF's like, yeah. That's their dream. I mean, that's still kind of tight, believe it or not. But because a lot of people, they have these surges of purchasing weapons, and then it messes everything up. But so we have the computer, has this data. They probably might have something now. I don't know. Kicks out Audrey because she's a first-time weapons purchaser, and she's purchased 3 successfully over a few months. And they might look, well, what's going on? And they may have looked. I don't know. But they just didn't have that time to really figure it out. Right? I think her social media posts or tweets or whatever it was had some concern within them. Oh, there you are. You're over there. I drove past you. Let me see what time it is. Yeah, I don't really got time. I don't want to bother him. The Hobby Lobby closes at 8, right? That's got a nice Jeep. How do you afford something like that? Do you sell drugs? You know people that sell drugs, and they give you money to harass me. Oh, and you work for the police department. So we get that in, and then so again, the reason people are looking at your idea of putting armed people in schools because it's stupid. It's like Trump. Yeah, Bush. I mean, he's an idiot. You give him a good idea and he ruins it. So again, the idea is that you explain what you're going to do. Back in the Marshal Service, we had security packages, and they would explain, they send you this big thing and explain what each piece was and how it all fit together and how much it was going to cost, and the calendar for the upgrades. You have to do that kind of stuff. The problem is people that can do that are killed by their coworkers because they're part of that stupid thing, and they say, well, we can't let smart people. They don't say it. We can't let smart people stay because they'll be our boss, and then we could get arrested for all the crimes we committed, especially against the smart people. It's really going on like that. So again, if you were to sit down and say, yeah, we want to put more armed people in school, and you had some sort of package put together, It said, "This is what our plan is. We have this item, that item, and 2 officers." And the way I'm explaining it, just do it that way. Now you can go to 3 in some schools if you need to, but I think 2 would be able to handle it. You're supposed to have a partner with a weapon, and you have a weapon, and you cover each other and all that. That's fine. That would work better, but I don't think we could get to that result. Oh, I'm over by this guy again. Okay, so are you panhandling? I think I saw him last time, like a long time ago, though. Not last time. It looks like he's okay. He's just having a moment there. So the package itself, how it all fits together. Well, I think if we do away with the background checks on certain people, like okay, you can't buy this weapon, they'll go somewhere else to buy it. Now there is the other side, and again, we're tasked with making it work. So if you can't make it work, then you can't do your job, even if you have spies causing the issue. You're not willing to look into that, maybe, or you can't, or I don't know what it is. But it appears, and again, it could be witchcraft. It appears that, believe it or not, Democrats could be causing the shootings. It could be either spycraft or witchcraft or both, and probably both. But again, at that point, they're not Democrats. Am I correct? I mean, that they may think they're part of something like that. It could be psychologically operating it. There's definitely Russians that would do that. I mean, we're at Cold War, but now, I mean, the manipulation is so advanced. But again, it could be anti-gun activists because in their mind, it's just kind of like the Symbionese. Was it Symbionese something army or whatever? It's Liberation Army. They think they're doing good, but they're doing bad. Again, we'll sacrifice a few people to get rid of all the guns, but yet if they wouldn't do it, we'd have like, one shooting every 10 years. But I can't do that investigation. I mean, I probably could have the capability if I could do it, but I'm just not, it would not be lawful. Now, I'm a master of being able to do things with little money. It's where it was in government. And that was a threat to people. Because that's how they get big expense accounts and big money expenditures, and who knows if they're embezzling or not. But it's a threat if somebody come along and go, "Oh, look, I can do it for almost free." We usually pay $1 million. Boy, knock it off. Not that I want to be cheap. I wish I had money just to go have a healthy, good life, but they killed it. Again, they are the beast. They've been the beast for decades on end here. And I'm not the only one they do it to. A lot of people are dead from them doing it to them. Ah, yes, because they're evil, rapists, murderers, child molesters, bombers. Meanwhile, those people are having great life. And in fact, the people that are operating us are those things. That's their scam. So again, it's this, in Europe, in this country, but like in China, all those people that were killed with the weapons. That's why they went to the those camps with the what do they call it again? I can't even remember at this point. But there's Islamic Chinese people. There's innocent people in there, and they're abusing the whole process. But what happened was they were killed. They get a bunch of knives and a few people together, and they go and they like kill like 10, 20 people with knives. So again, there are ways to get around that. And so I think increasing the background check, and it just begs the reason that you want 30 days, at least 30 days to do this. I don't think um, Audrey Hale and the other person would have gotten those weapons. Audrey Hale obviously had some disqualifying factors, I think, but they may not be. Oh, they're not disqualifying in Tennessee, so I don't know how that works. I thought there was a federal law on that. I really haven't studied it that deeply. Um, I always thought there was some sort of federal process. I mean, but they were saying in the news today where there's no state process. So again, there should be a federal law, 30-day uh, background investigation, and that should take care of the Uvalde shooting, the Covenant shooting, and we'll wait to see if it would have covered today's. They haven't released that information. The blip in the mind was they weren't going to release till tomorrow, out of respect for the victims. But you know what? The governor knew these people, so again, well, I told you that God was removing all your charmingness. You're going to live where all of us live. And that's going to increase on time. In fact, some of you are living with less money now than I have. But you were, shake and bake millionaires. Deep state made you real quick, and the system broke, and they ran for cover. Well, because the way it works is this: they curse certain people, and it like right now you see it because everybody's experiencing it. But what happens is before this time period, they would curse certain people, and those are people with the urban plight communities, people living in poverty, people getting ill, all the time in their life. So the devils that have money were doing this. Now God has said everybody will be affected, and now the governor in Tennessee knows people that were killed in the latest school, or not school shooting, but mass shooting. So again, God is trying to correct us, saying, "Hey, look, you're not going to have your way anymore." See, this is what Trump knows. Trump knows his money keeps him protected, and it's not only Trump. There are Democrats that know, Republicans know that money keeps them protected, and it's a metaphysic. Like that's why they're shocked. That's why Elon Musk is shocked that his friend got stabbed and died, because that doesn't happen to them. And some of them believe that that's God doing that for them. But now God is actually moving. And it's not that it's any more than it was before. It's just simply you're not going to be protected by mammon, which is your money, worship of money, and other people's worship of money. See, that's where that comes from. If you all worship money, then the person with money is up higher. So again, that's what I told you that was going to happen. And again, that's a prophecy, and it's happening. I don't really curse anybody, even though I curse you. Everything is given to God. I can't even heal you. I can't heal you or curse you. I can't do anything. I have no power on this planet. But I give it to God. If I curse you, God has an opening. I know it sounds weird, but this is not the Father's kingdom. So it's incumbent upon us. And I'm not telling you to curse anybody. I know what I'm doing. They know what happened. They know what stage of the game it is. They know what's happening on their end when I curse them. In fact, some people are glad that I do that. Because some people will actually project what's actually happening into my mind. So that's where some of my information comes from. Because they're not part of that, but they're not going to stop it because they're not going to. They don't want to live a life like mine. No, I was a victim that just wanted to kill, to use as an example, so they could take over a courthouse and federal agencies in Baltimore. But it didn't quite go as planned. All right, stay peaceful. Praise God in all that you do. Praise God.
You're listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.